We are paging Dr. Paul here on CTV Morning Live, and you know, we were just talking about it because I read the article this morning in The Citizen that 70% of all Canadians will be obese by 2026.
That's right.
That is a frightening statistic. Although you're saying we're actually on our way right now.
We're on our way right now. We're probably 50 to 60% right now, and if you look at kids, probably 35% of children, depending on where you go. So that's something that worries us. And very often I get questions, you know, what should we do about healthy eating and, you know, healthy habits? I think it starts young. And I think that we can instill good habits in everybody, but a lot of people don't know what the common practical tips are for lifelong habits. So some of the things that I tell parents and families as well is, number one, don't skip breakfast, believe it or not. I'm not going to talk about a diet, I'm talking about a lifestyle now. Don't skip breakfast. Actually, skipping breakfast has been associated with weight gain, believe it or not. People who have wanted to lose weight simply started eating breakfast and they actually lost weight. So that's number one. Number two, drink your 8 glasses of water a day. That's quite important, and get that habit going on early. The other thing has to do with portion size. And, you know, if you go on these buffets and, you know, avoid buffets, obviously. Your plate, don't fill it to the brim. You know, there's a center, get those smaller plates. It's another idea. How much should you put in your plate? That's something that people don't understand. It should be a quarter. The plate should be broken up into four parts, right? A quarter should be meat or protein, so as big as the palm of your hand. A quarter should be about whole grain, you know, pasta, rice, whole grain, and the half of the plate itself should be vegetables. And if you do that on a regular basis, you're eating enough, and you're not eating too much. The other thing too is a lot of parents tell me, well, how many meals should my child be eating? Right? Well, I call it the 3 and 2 rule. So it's 3 meals, 2 snacks, and basically don't eat after 8 p.m. Now, if you do all these things, those are lifelong habits that you'll instill in young kids, and hopefully, it's not the simple solution, obviously, it's not the only solution, but hopefully it'll be able to at least entrench some of these habits in kids as they grow older, and hopefully ward off this, you know, this incoming worry that we're having about these kids now, you know, 15, 20 years old, developing diabetes and high blood pressure, stuff that as a pediatrician 20 years ago I'd never see in kids.
Well, and our health system is actually going to be feeling major consequences of that as well.
Well, that's the problem. The problem is you're going to have the aging population and you're going to have the younger kids getting sicker earlier. So it's basically, you know, a recipe for a disaster.
You know, as a pediatrician and you see parents coming in, how often can you see it that if the parents can incorporate what you've just mentioned, that the kids are going to be able to do it? If the parent can't, can they instill it in their children?
No, they can't. No, they can't. You know, you have to be able to lead by example. And in certain situations, it's not a coincidence that you see families that are, the whole family's overweight or the whole family is in shape. And that's why I think it's important to instill those habits or in yourself, obviously, you know, active living, healthy eating, those type of things. But if you do them at a young age with your children, then they'll grow up learning that that's normal. What's happening now is we're growing up, you know, our kids are growing up with, you know, the super sizes and all these things, and they think that's normal. Actually, that's not normal.
Now, if there's a parent right there that's saying, listen, I have a child who's 10 years old, so they've already maybe had bad habits, is it hard at this point now to try to transition it or make slow transitional moves so that a child who might be accustomed to a different set of patterns can slowly make the change?
Yes, they can. It's never too late. Children are resilient. They will learn. They will relearn. But it's important to be patient. You won't be able to get that overnight, right? If you instill it at a young age, then you won't have a problem. If you try to change 10, 12 years of age, it's a habit that the child's had for 10 years. It's harder to do, but it's not impossible, and it's not a reason not to try as well. People might say, well, he's used to it, I'll leave it. No, that's not an excuse. Even if you're 10, 20, 30, or 40 years old, those habits can be reversed. Obviously, the longer you wait, the more difficult it will be.
The harder it is.
Sure.
Skipping breakfast is probably the key, getting your day off right on with the breakfast, the 8 glasses of water, breaking the plate up into 4 quarters. Using smaller plates if that's also
exactly. And the 3 and 2 rule, that's very important. You should be eating, you shouldn't be skipping meals as well, because if you skip meals, you tend to eat more on the next meal, and your body kind of thinks that you're in a fasting mode, and they actually don't digest as well.
Keep your body at a steady temperature, right?
Exactly.
Always constantly burning.
Exactly.
Anyway, it's a pleasure to see you once again.
Nice to see you.
Thanks a lot. We're going to take a commercial break. Still plenty more to come here on CTV Morning Live. You know what? Kurt's stuck in that traffic coming back from Canada. There he is. Plenty more. We've got Molly May joining us. We've got chocolate and wine. We've also got restaurant Kinky and Bamboo coming in later on as well. We're back after this.